why do we think that we have a role as medical women for global health? My understanding in English of global health is that it's international. So, we are already international. We had that foresight so many years ago, as we know. So we are already set. Do you know of any other organization that's 100 years old and is called international or global? Our membership is throughout the world, and we are non-political because diseases, until we interfere with them, should not be political or politicized. We address the whole health of a person, not just the womb to the tomb, but I put it to you, before the womb. And as we are told, we are the ones who possess that important organ called the womb. I put it to you also, any human development cannot be complete if it ignores half of its population. In this, whatever that half may be, but in this case, the half that is female. And in fact, if we don't interfere with nature, we are the bigger half. And I dare say, the better half, without any apologies to the few men that are present. So we are an old organization, and old is gold in this case. Oh dear. Okay, I have to point it there. You're supposed to move, yeah. Women and girls, this is not a new job for us to take care of the whole world in health. We've been doing it. We've been doing it before birth, as we have said. We do it at home, informal health provision through what we do at home naturally as home carers, child care, food, and nutrition. We provide this, and when we become pregnant, we have that unique responsibility as far as health is concerned. We've been told over and over again from the first day at the UN when we met that the majority of health providers have been, and I think will remain, in hospitals and elsewhere, to be women. In some places, it's up to 70% of the health workforce in the hospitals and elsewhere. So really, we are not saying that we want to do something we do not know about. So in our 100 years, we've already been involved in doing lots of good work. And I emphasize that word, good work. Because of the way we have specialized in different ways. But we have also provided leadership in governments. It has taken time and sometimes a lot of insistence. For example, how many women WHO heads have we had? Do you know? 1, 2, 2, 1. Dr. Brundtland of Norway and Dr. Margaret Chan. And yet, this is what we have been involved in, health for all, and health from the beginning to the end. Looking at health, not just the absence of disease, but the well-being of a person. I know that has brought some little problem in the definition, but you should also be able to adapt to the changing situations that will make you live well and healthy, physically, mentally, and socially throughout life. And we've been involved in those. We've had women being in positions, especially at national levels. But we are not asking for tokenism. I think you've all heard of how women have been put in a position, not so that they perform, but so that they fail, and somebody proves that women cannot do it. We are not asking for tokenism. We are asking for equity, because all of us will benefit when we are given that position to do the work which is so well managed to do. And even in this, we need to still fight for things that affect us differently from men. And that's why I said it's equity, not just equality, and not tokenism. No man is going to be pregnant, even if that child is theirs. So when you go for maternity leave, or you are breastfeeding, or you are taking care of that child, should you be penalized? Should you be penalized when you are having menses? Many girls miss going to school because they are menstruating in different countries. Why? A few days ago, it was reported on one of the government radios or media, I don't want to mention which one, that in some countries, as we are speaking, in India, in some 132 states, for the last 3 months, there hasn't been a girl born. You can refute that, but you know the problems that we have been facing in using the technology which should help us to selectively destroy female fetuses. So ladies, we still have a lot of work to do. And we can do it because we have examples already existing. In 1975, during the the Mexico conference, where out of it, we had a plan of action, people talked about women and we were involved. In the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, medical women were involved to a very high level, trying to put the proper language. And remember here, we are talking rights of the child, not gender issues, not rights of a girl or a boy, because they are all ours. The ICBD conference, International Conference on Population and Development, was held in our region, in Cairo, in 1994. And there have been very many follow-up activities. MWIA chaired the NGO Forum of Cairo. It just happened that it was Florence Mangoyo who chaired that conference, which was bigger than the government one. But I didn't chair as Florence Mangoyo. I chaired as the International Medical Women. It was not easy, but it happened. And we, Medical Women International Association, showed that we can. Safe Motherhood Conference has happened, and many others, starting from when it happened in, like I've mentioned, in 1975, in 1985 in Nairobi, and then follow up to the Beijing conference. But I put it to you. If motherhood, unlike fatherhood, it's not a disease, but it kills. When you find a disease that kills and you can prevent, you prevent it and eradicate it. Let me ask you, who wants to eradicate this thing that kills women called motherhood? You want to eradicate it? You've no choice. We've got to make it safe because we've got to exist. And we have the power, the means, and everything that is required to prevent these deaths. It should not be penalized. We've heard a lot about HPV and how it's working. Yes, it affects us so seriously through the cervical cancer. But we must mention also that we are, we are aware that it also causes oropharyngeal cancer and also penile cancer. Just talk to somebody who would be affected even if they are men. And as we were told, I think yesterday, get them on board and they will help you. We've talked about female infanticide in so many areas, but one thing that brings tears into my eyes, and I'm sorry for being emotional at this point, is where you traffic girls to be used by men sexually. Why didn't the world stop when we got those 200 and over girls in Nigeria to go and be used in war zones? Why? They've been used also in sex slave, even in developed countries. I don't understand. What is this? That's why it's so emotional to talk about sex slavery, sex abuse of girls. And let me put it to you. When we talk about sexual abuse and slavery, we talk about the girls and we cry about it, and let's get those people who use them. The men. So next time we hear of this, we say, the men who are. Let's turn the tables around so that we don't keep on, oh, I'm sorry, oh, these girls, oh, what do we do? No. Get the people who use them and destroy them. Because once you've been in those places, you come out completely destroyed. We have had many other forms of abuse in different ways and at homes and in places of work. But as we have said earlier, we've developed the rights of the child, and I still cannot understand why some people, some countries have not ratified the rights of the child that we developed. We worked on the same table, but they didn't. So we are a great resource that needs to work in partnership and in coordination with others. Who are the others? As we've said, the governments, other non-governmental organizations, including those who are in private and community. If you have worked in the community with that woman who fetches water, and you've told her, harvest water from the roofs of your house, you are doing something. You are doing a great job. And let me tell you what one woman said in Africa. She said, I spend so much time and energy looking for water every day that if I should find anybody wasting it, washing their hands, I'll kill them. That shows how important even simple, straightforward things that are taken for granted are to us. So work with those men. When in Kenya, we were developing the rights of the child, we went to men and we sat down with them. One of them was a highly qualified person. He was an economist. And he said, "Dear brother, let's sit." He was a minister at that time. And we told them what these things mean, and we told them how much the country would save. And we got it through. So talk to your brother, talk to your father even, talk to your husband, talk to your friend, talk to colleagues where you are working. And then get involved in legalizing some of these issues because they need to be in the book. So, ladies, we are a strong force that is not being utilized fully. The challenges that we had in the beginning still exist, and some have changed, new ones have come, and so has technology, so we can use that. We've done our part as medical women, as we were told earlier. We've been trained, even women themselves need to be trained in some of these issues because we take them, they've been ingrained in us so much that we don't see the challenges that affect us differently. One of them is, as was mentioned earlier in an earlier conference, we trained medical women to know the differences of gender issues, because don't assume that we all understand. So you are still needed 100 years to come. We will work in partnership, and this partnership is so important. And I'll give you another African saying, that when spider webs unite, they will tie up a lion. We have several lions that we want to tie up. Yeah. So let us all unite. I wish MWA a happy centennial celebration. And I look forward to the next 100 years. The year that we will meet for that will be 2119. Please take my apologies, as I will not be able to attend.